Let's kick things off with a scenario that we've probably all been into. Now, you've set some epic goals for the next few weeks. You're ready to conquer the world. You're literally feeling the fire and you're diving in headfirst into building your next big launch or crafting that life-changing offer. Maybe you've signed up to a brand new coaching program or a course that's going to take a lot of your time and your mental capacity. Or maybe you're still living that last-minute entrepreneur life where you're tackling email, social media, and plan on a day-to-day basis. And you're always following those deadlines very closely, like a ninja. But then life happens. Maybe you realize you desperately need a break, but the deadlines are always so close, the responsibilities are packing up, and that vacation feels like a dream. A very, very distant dream. Or you end up taking that vacation with your family and you bring your laptop, your phone, you're always answering emails, you're creating new emails, scheduling emails, social media posts, and so on. Maybe your kids or everyone else in your house come down with a nasty bug or someone got hurt. And you already know that they're going to need a whole lot of your time. Maybe you've got a big project or a launch coming up and you want to make sure that you're prepared and organized every step of the way, but you're still scrambling at the last minute and you can't find the time to create anything. Maybe, like me, you want to be in the best shape of your life before you turn 40. And it's coming way closer than it should. And you're having a hard time getting all those new habits in, and you're feeling the lack of self-care lately, right? It's going against my goal. And we've all been really guilty of neglecting our self-care, own well-being, and everybody's priorities aside for ours. But when you're feeling burnt out and run down, it's really time to reset that button. But who has the time? Which is why all entrepreneurs need to have an OSHIT sequence set up.
Hi, and welcome to Create, Automate, and Scale podcast. Tune in to this inspirational, straight to the point, relatable content for entrepreneurs to help you mastermind the everyday hassle, give you business tips, networking opportunities, shameless money talks, and scaling secrets. Created to support you, to support coaches and course creators just like you, to help you take action, stop trading dollars for hours, and explode your business. It's time to hit that 6-figure and beyond. Let's go!
Welcome to Create, Automate, and Scale, the podcast where we turn your business dreams into reality. Hi, I'm your host, Sophie Raleigh, and today I want to dive into how to set up your OSHIT sequence so you always have a plan B in your business, no matter the reason. I want to take a look back at a time where I was a service provider. I created my first 6-figure business in 8 months, creating mainly summits for others. If you don't know what a summit is, it's typically when you invite 20 to 25 plus other experts, you interview them on a certain topic, and you create an interview series that you and your experts all promote to everyone's audience. And this helps you build your email list, it helps you build your authority, and in turn, it helps them grow their list and be seen. Now, these are seriously time consuming. If I'm being honest, it's not the best way to collaborate anymore. So if you had any idea, oh my gosh, I'm going to do a summit because Sophie told me to. No, I have some way better ways. But let's stay on track for today. I'm working behind the scene at this point, and I'm working probably on 7 events. And though I work fast, I'm like a tiny little ninja. So if you haven't met me, I'm 4'11", but when it comes to tech, I'm literal ninja. If I work on a lot of events, it's all good. It's usually a piece of cake. But when you're working with clients, they are the decision makers. At the end of the day, they're the decision makers. They are the CEO of their business, which means that when you're working with clients who are still working on their decision-making skills, if you know what I mean, you can easily fall behind and you're often waiting for those final decisions. Now, you can imagine when it's such a big event, those decisions will have a huge ripple effect. I would love to challenge you today and see how long it takes you to make decisions in your business. And maybe we can have a whole discussion as to how this affects your business bottom line. But you can imagine that when you're working on such a big event, the ripple effect can be huge. Now, I unexpectedly got sick. I mean, I don't think anybody plans that, right? And I got COVID. It's when it hit me probably the worst. So I'm in the midst of all the events. And of course, every one of my clients at the time were falling behind in making decisions, behind in finishing their interviews, and so on. Now, I was really sick. I was tired. I could barely breathe, let alone crush 7 events. Now, don't worry. I always deliver and I crushed it. But that was the week that I decided that I would never be put in a situation like that again. That's when I started to be obsessed over automation and how the VIP Hub came to life, wanted to help you set up your tech and automation without costing you an arm and a leg, without having to hire someone to do it, and saving you hundreds of hours each month on with automation so that you can have the space in your life to be a boss, to be a parent, to be a spouse, and honestly enjoy your damn life everywhere in between. And having a plan B automation is the key to your success. So let's get to work. First, if you're wondering, what is an oh shit sequence? Let me tell you. Well, it's primarily an email sequence that we set up in an automation that can last anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks, that is designed to nurture and sell your evergreen offers when you have an emergency and life happens. Once you have it all set up, all you have to do is add all your contacts into the automation, turn off your electronics, and take a step back and know that your business is taken care of. And you can take care of that launch yourself, your family, and so on. Now, this is perfect for solopreneur, mompreneur, because you might not always have a team to fall back on. And if I'm being honest, from working with hundreds of businesses, even if you do have a team, if you can't make those decisions, take the decision, do the approval process of the material, and all that comes with having a team, you don't end up taking much of a break, and you also don't end up really making progress on what you're working on. And I will say that 9 times out of 10, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting money on that team. And I could go on here, but having a plan B is huge. So if you have an email list and an offer, this sequence is for you. To be able to set up your oh shit sequence, you first need to make a list of your assets. So let's brainstorm all your assets together, because at the end of the day, you need to be able to sell things in order to make money while you're taking your well-deserved time off. Makes sense? For some of you, that might be super easy, but maybe it's not as black and white as we would like it to be. So we'll just brainstorm. I want to first share one of the best way that I do my brainstorming. And that, besties, is sticky notes and the biggest wall in my house. I'm obsessed with sticky notes. I'm not sure my family is obsessed with the way that I brainstorm, but that is okay. If this is your first time trying this, I highly recommend the super sticky, full adhesive notes, because other will just start falling off the wall on you, and that's not going to help you stay organized, and it may just add a few swear words to the process. So we don't want that. I'll find the Amazon link of the ones that I personally use, and I'll put that in the show notes if you're just curious on the ones that I am referring to. But the dollar store ones definitely do not work on a wall. If that's what you're working with, all good. Maybe use a big table instead. Now, the reason why I love this method is that you get to put everything out of your head and into a space where you can see everything all at once, but you're also going to be able to move things easily as needed. So it's like a puzzle, right? When you get started, you find small pieces of the picture together, and then at the end, you can see the full picture very clearly. So let's start with writing down on each sticky note all of your assets. So one asset, one sticky note. You can even color code different types of assets into different colors. Now, let's start with what freebies, lead generation, lead magnet do you have at the moment? What are your evergreen offers that you have at the moment? Again, an evergreen offer is something that does not need you. So your one-on-one coaching, your group coachings are out of this one, as well as anything for my service provider, that any type of service that takes up your time. So we are talking about courses, templates, recorded training, recorded masterclass, recorded interviews from past events. A question that I get really often from my coaches who have one-on-one offers, group coaching programs, as well as my service providers. Can you use the oh shit sequence to sell those offers? And the answer is no, but let me explain. You could absolutely change this automation into more of a launch automation with sales calls, answering questions, but the reason it's not part of an oh shit emergency sequence is because this sequence is for just that, emergency. So when you don't have time for your launch, you don't have time for the sales calls, you don't have time for Zoom calls or group coaching calls. We are assuming that at this time, you do not have time for any of this. So for this sequence, we sell courses, small evergreen offers, and templates. Assets that you can sell that are not going to take up any of your time. I repeat that often because I really want this one to stick. That is not going to require you to have a team to manage, hold down the fort, somebody to run the business for you. Now, if you feel like you don't have any evergreen offers at this time, let's keep going with the next few questions. It's typically for my coaches, service providers, what are the module or framework of your program? Maybe there's a mini course on each of these module or framework that you've created, recorded, or could record. But let's break it down even more. What type of resources that you offer your client for each of these modules for your framework? Out of the last two questions, what could be turned into offers? For my service providers, I know that you make your income helping others by doing things for them. Whether you write copy, create graphics, organize their business, create their automation, their funnels, and so on. But what are some templates that you could sell? What are some quick resources or how-to content that you could offer? I want to say, trust me when I say that so many people hire VAs and service providers because they have no idea how to set things up. So don't underestimate your value. Once you have all of your assets on the wall, we can start to organize them into offers that we can put together to sell during the oh shit sequence. If you're planning on creating 2-week sequence, maybe you want to create a bundle to sell or 1 to 2 offers. If this is something that is overwhelming and it's the first time that you're creating evergreen offers, that you're creating such a big automation, I want to say that it's perfectly fine to set up an emergency 2-week sequence and to come back later on and build it on to a 4-week. It is completely fine because getting 2 weeks of self-care or time to recover or time for your family or for a vacation is seriously a whole lot better than having no time at all. Now, there's different ways that we can do these automation, it can be more offers than, having a bundle or 1 to 2 offers, but let's just talk minimum for this example. If you want to create a 4-week sequence, you'll want to have at least 2 to 3 offers that you want to create for this sequence. And if you have a 6-week sequence, then you want to have 3+ offers to present during that time. Also, think about having different price range. You absolutely want to create smaller to medium offers. And if you have a course that is on a higher price end and you have the proof in the pudding, absolutely consider adding this to your oh shit sequence. Now, we're talking evergreen. So of course, I want you to also look at your wall. What could be an upsell, a bump order? What else could we offer at the other end of those first offers? Consider what free gift do you want to add to this sequence to start it off? Do you have anything new or exciting that you could offer as a gift to start it off? And again, there will absolutely be a bump, an upsell on your first free gift offer when we start off the sequence. Once you have all your assets, that's when you want to, again, take some sticky note and start to put those offers into a timeline. Put a sticky note for each week of your sequence, so week 1, week 2, and so on. Then place the offers that you want to offer each week. This is not this is not in stone here. Don't stress. It's just to help you write up those emails for your epic OSHA sequence. So it's going to give you that really nice visual of how and when you want to sell things. You don't need to put everything on your assets wall that you put on your wall into your sequence. It's really going to be on, a case-by-case basis on how and what you want to offer. There's a lot of ways, again, that you can set up that oh shit sequence, which we're going to walk through a lot of them during the oh shit workshop. This can be set up like a flash sale. This can be set up where you have a different offer every 2 days or things like that. There's so many ways. It can be looking more like a launch where you're really selling something for a whole 2 weeks, especially if the price is higher. If you haven't yet registered to the oh shit workshop, feel free to sign up using the link in the show notes. And whether you end up joining us live or catch the recording, we are going to walk through the entire process together to make sure that your plan B is set up so that your business is ready for when life just happens. You will get access to templates, coaching sessions, live or recorded, depending on when you join us, and a lot of gifts. We will make sure that you have your sequence and content ready to rock. And there you have it. This is the idea behind the oh shit automation. Now, if you want to learn more about the oh shit automation, how to create 60 pieces of content from writing content for this automation and getting all the checklists that I have for when I want to set them up, feel free to let me know. And as always, if you love this content, feel free to leave a review. Now, seriously, run to the show notes, sign up to the workshop. Did I mention it is free? You will never again find so much free, out of this world content into any workshop that you'll ever sign into. So do not miss it. And until next time, keep creating, automating, and scaling your way to greatness. This is Sophie Riley signing off, reminding you to stay inspired, stay innovative, and always dare to dream big.
Thanks for tuning in to the Create, Automate, and Scale podcast. We hope you found today's episode to be inspirational, informative, and straight to the point. Our goal is to provide you with relatable content that helps you mastermind the everyday hustle, grow your business, and achieve your goals. As an entrepreneur, we know how tough it is that it can be to navigate the world of business, which is why we're here to support you with valuable tips, networking opportunities, shameless money talk, and scaling secrets.
We're dedicated to helping coaches and course creators take action, stop trading dollars for hours, and explode their business to hit that six-figure and beyond. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast to stay up to date with the latest episode, and feel free to leave a review or reach out to us with any feedback or questions that you may have. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Create, Automate, and Scale.